Hi everybody, it's Mr. Magic here. We're back today with another episode of Magical Mail. I have some of the last components that I think I'll be ordering for my Kiki Jiki deck, and so I'm very excited to be bringing that project to a close, and to be moving on to working on some other things. So here's this. We have Port Razor, foil borderless edition from Commander Legends. And he's red 3 for an Orc Pirate. Whenever Port Razor deals combat damage to a player, untap each creature you control. After this combat phase, there is an additional combat phase. Port Razor can't attack a player it has already attacked this turn. So, for those of you that aren't familiar with the combo, it is a little bit conditional. Let's see. So you need Kiki Jiki and Port Razor on the field. And Port Razor has to connect with your opponent. So that's the condition. Port Razor attacks, he connects with the opponent. Or rather, pre-combat, you make a token copy of Port Razor. Port Razor attacks, connects with the opponent. Let's say that one attacks and connects with the opponent as well. And then we untap everything, and there's an additional combat phase. These two cannot attack the same opponent now, but we tap Kiki Jiki to make another copy of Port Razor. Now this can attack our first opponent, and these two can attack another opponent if we're in multiplayer format. And then we untap everything, and even if only the new copy is able to touch the opponent, then we can still whittle that one opponent down as long as we have a clear line of damage to that opponent. That's so it's a conditional combo. It's not. I'm not sure if this card will actually make it into the deck. I'm at the point where there's very, very little that I'd be willing to take out. Maybe Feldon of the Third Path, but I feel like Feldon gives me access to, if I had to, if a combo piece died or I had to throw away a combo piece for whatever reason, then Feldon gives me access to any number of combo pieces that are far less conditional than Port Razor. And so I'll flip through this deck real quick. There's Feldon, and we'll do where's a good example? Coercive Recruiter, and we'll look at the differences between the way these two combos work, and why I think Feldon giving me access to a truly infinite combo piece is a better use of Feldon's slot. So we've discussed the fact that this is conditional. So let's compare this to if I have Coercive Recruiter on the field. Coercive Recruiter or another pirate enters the battlefield under your control. Gain control of target creature. Kiki Jiki, untap that creature. Until end of turn, it gains haste and becomes a pirate in addition to its other types. So we're going to tap Kiki Jiki to make a copy of Coercive Recruiter. Coercive Recruiter enters, and we untap Kiki Jiki, and then we tap Kiki Jiki to copy Coercive Recruiter, and that enters, and we untap Kiki Jiki, and we tap him to make a copy of Coercive Recruiter, and it untaps. And that truly goes infinite. And it doesn't matter if your opponent has 100,000 token creatures on the board, or if they have 1,000,000 life points, or whatever, because we can go to whatever size we need to overwhelm all their blockers or to deal with however much life gain they've made or whatever. So Feldon, let's say for example that I was forced to discard Coercive Recruiter, or he got bolted or whatever, and now he's in the graveyard over here. Well, Feldon taps 2 gray, red, tap, and we create a token that's a copy of Coercive Recruiter, except it's also an artifact. And So that gives us access again to that coercive recruiter, whereas if I swap out Feldon for Port Raiser, then in that place I have access to a conditional combo instead of an actually infinite combo. So I think that that Port Raiser might just get sideboarded or put into my, I have a binder full of ideas that haven't quite made it into the deck. They were noteworthy, but not really in there. And so then this is the final piece. Now this, I do think, is making it into the deck. Very, very excited about this. This is from MTG Mint Card, and I love the packaging. Very cool. Braid of Fire. Braid of Fire was originally printed in Cold Snap. This is a foil reprint from the list, and so back in Cold Snap there was Mana Burn, and so like back in my high school days when I originally played, there was still Mana Burn. And so Braid of Fire had a cumulative upkeep cost. Instead of paying mana, you added red to your mana pool. So, you know, you play it, and then on your next upkeep you add red. And the next upkeep you add 2 red, then 3 red, then 4 red. And in that situation, your problem became, what do you do with all this mana? Because if you don't use it by the end of the turn, it burns you for however much. Like if you had 5 unused mana, that's 5 damage you take. And Commander didn't exist back then, so out of a 20-point life total, that hurt. You know, so it was it was this ticking time bomb against you. And whereas today, there's very little, maybe no drawback to playing this. What the difference is that now mana pool's empty at the end of the turn, and so whatever you're doing, you need to do it on your upkeep. But this really amounts to a free instant every upkeep. So, you know, maybe a free activated creature ability every upkeep. You know, if you've got, there's a land that I cannot remember the name of, but it says you can, until end of, it has some activated ability for like 4 and tap that land. You can then play spells until end of turn as though they had flash. And flash is a very rare mechanic in red, so adding that land into this deck may be a good thing. You know, or I can pump this mana into maybe my gemstone array and add counters to my gemstone array so that I can use that mana later. But but Braid of Fire will go in. Very excited about having that. Port Raiser is just a cool card, even if it's not quite as aggressive or as salty as some of the other combos that already exist in my Kiki Jiki deck. But let me know what you guys think in the comments. You know, should Port Raiser go in? Should he stay where he's at? You know, in the sideboard, in the maybe board. I'm still thinking Feldon over Port Raiser, but love to hear what you think. This is Mr. Magic out. You guys have a great day.